Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here from the beautiful Napa Valley. Here we are at Sonoma Raceway. A little bit of road course action here for the NASCAR Cup Series with the Outcast Racing League, powered by Shenco Diecasts, as we get ready to set these drivers loose. Qualifying coming to a close, and these drivers will be out there onto the racetrack making not only left-hand turns but right-hand turns here this evening, as well as our first road course race of the season for the ORL crew. As these drivers get ready to rock and roll, they'll get ready to rumble here in this one. Gonna be a pretty wild show right now. Matt Redford with a heater of a lap time up into the 1:15 bracket here, so 1 minute and 15 seconds for a lap time for Matt Redford. Next closest is 2 seconds back with Jamison Heath. So Redford looking to have a very, very big day here at the racetrack and see if he can try to pick himself up a win. We're still waiting for a few drivers to maybe get qualifying in. They may be electing just start at the back of the pack, and that is Joshua Neal, James Garland, Johnny Thunders, Corey Crowell, David Durant Jr., Lance Brantlinger, and Ryan Haller, all kind of waiting patiently here. Maybe just going to try to settle in and try to run some laps towards the back of the pack and maybe try to avoid any crazy calamities that can happen and can sneak up on you in a quick hurry here at Sonoma Raceway. This is a very, very tricky track, a very wild racetrack to say the least, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what these drivers can do, how they can maneuver around the track, and what craziness will unfold. There's going to be bumps and runs. There's going to be some bruises, maybe some hurt feelings out there on the racetrack, as there's definitely going to be a lot of hard braking zones, a lot of times where drivers may get in there a little bit hotter than what they're anticipating and making that contact with, their fellow competitors out there on the racetrack. And it could be a very long day for a lot of drivers out there if they don't have a good start here this evening. Yo, Black Phoenix, my boy Black Phoenix coming in with the like on the stream, and Marie Davis coming in with that heart reaction, coming in showing the love. My boy Bradley Brown coming in showing the love as well with the thumbs up on the broadcast. James Garland, James coming in with the heart reaction. What's good, James? How are you, brother? James coming in showing the love here in this one, as well as we get ready to rock and roll here from the beautiful Sonoma Raceway. You can see the drag strip there as well in one of those scenes, and this is a very, very big track, and you can see some amazing racing here. And unfortunately, NASCAR, they're not here this week, but I think they head to Sonoma in a couple weeks or next week, something like that. So they're going to be here in real life and in a few short weeks, and you'll really get to experience, the difference between the Outcast Racing League and what they can do on the road course, and then what the real life NASCAR guys can also do on the road course as well, as we'll get these drivers locked, stocked, and loaded here for our main feature event. Is starting on the pole in the number 71 machine. That is the Rothman Chevrolet machine of Matt Redford. Is outside the Mountain Dew ride. That is Jamison Heath. Starting in position number 3 in the Poultry Shack, and number 31, that is Adolfo Castillo. And then we see the Lawrence Tech 70 ride of Mike Killingbeck starting there on 4th. Starting in that 5th position, it is the Elite Sim Racing CZX Digital RS F1 number 3 ride of Al Reed. His outside the John Deere number 15, that's Cameron Combs. Starting in the 7th position is the Fastenal number 99 of Christopher Muse, and his outside in the PeaceMaker Gaming Syndicate Motorsports number 77, that is Casey Gross. Starting in that 9th spot on the racetrack, the NOS Energy Elite Sim Racing 49 ride of Kurt Sponsler, and his outside, one of our sponsors here on the series, is the Land NC NSB02, the Syndicate ride of Chad Lancaster, rounding out our top 10. Anthony Garland in the Outcast Racing League Syndicate ride. He's going to start there in 11th. He's got Dean Shasby in the Sim Racing Dad number 52 ride there to his outside, which will be our 12th starter here on the evening. David Duran Jr. in the 51 ride, the Napa Gold Filters machine. James Garland in the Outcast Racing League, the Pool Boy ride there in 14th. Wayne Garland in his Procrastinators number 84. Going to start there in the 15th position. Ryan Haller in the Busch Light number 1 ride. Starting in 16th, you see Johnny Thunders. Lance Brantlinger bringing up the rear of the field here, as unfortunately looks like Brandon Puffenbarger and Corey Crowell both missing the start here, so they'll have to fire off from pit lane. So a tough break for both Puffenbarger and Corey Crowell, not the way they wanted to start their evening, and unfortunately for Joshua Neal, he's not out there yet either. So a few drivers having to start from pit lane. We got a lot of drivers ready to rock and roll here in this one. DC Cameron says go 24, cheering on the 24 ride out there on the racetrack as we get ready to rock and roll here in this one. Matt Redford, Jamison Heath getting ready to rumble here from Sonoma as they go around, I do believe, quarter number 11 down into quarter number 12 here. Now this is going to be a very tight hairpin. These drivers are going to have to deal with all evening long, one of the best passing spots on the racetrack here. They head down through the hairpin into corner number 13, and then we see our start-finish line in the restart zone as Renford ready to set these drivers loose as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation. And already Jamison Heath running into issues. Spins the tires on the start, goes straight into the wall, not the way he wanted things to get underway here for himself. And as Redford leads the way here, got the 51 ride of Adolfo Castillo, trying to stick to his back bumper. Al Reed quickly up a couple spots there in third. Chris Muse, Cameron Combs, our top 5 here as everyone trying to make it up the hill here. The 52 ride going to wash up. He's going to get some bumps from the 0-2 of Lancaster as he goes around. Chad Lancaster going for a loop-de-loop there as well. He's stuck in the grass, trying to get it pointed in the right direction. You see Johnny Thunders also going around up there on top of the hill, so a tough break for both of those drivers. It's the 3 ride of Al Reed already up into second here. Matt Redford trying to set sail though. That number 71 ride hooked up here today. He's already opened up a 2.8 second gap between himself and the 3 ride of Al Reed. Renford may be checked out here for the rest of the evening as Reed, Adolfo Castillo, here you go. Here's that passing lane as he jumps down to the inside. He washes up the racetrack though, locked up those tires, but around goes the 3 ride. Chris Muse collected, the 31 also in there. Calamity here in quarter number 12. Almost completing our first lap, and now the 84. But Wayne Garland, he's going to get some contact. He goes around. Mayhem here on lap number 1 as Matt Redford tries to separate himself from the rest of the field as quickly as possible. And this all got started right out of the get-go. Right off the green flag, an unfortunate break as the 24 rider outside pole sitter unfortunately spins the tires here. Spins himself right around. This is a very tough break for the Mountain Dew 24 machinist. Hammers on the gas. Spins those tires, nowhere to go for killing back in. Unfortunately for the 24, pretty heavy damage there on that ride. He's going to get it pointed back in the right direction, but uses a ton of time here, and that is a very, very, very tough break for that 24 machine. And then you can see Al Reed have some contact as well in the TZX digital ride, but it really wasn't a whole lot of contact or anything else. Had to try to get a different line as he knew the 31 was shooting the gap down to his inside, and unfortunately the rear end just steps out and around on him there. And then you see everyone just kind of piling in here, everyone trying to get through it, and Al Reed gets his car pointed back in the right direction. Unfortunately for a bunch of drivers, they lose a ton of spots, including the 84 rider who gets clipped there at the end of that one. It's tough breaks out there on the racetrack, but right now, that 71 ride, he is absolutely gone. Redford is just clicking off these laps as quickly as possible, looking to cash in on a checkered flag on the evening, already out to a 7-second advantage between himself and Cameron Combs, so a big lead already for that 71 ride. I think he's going to be tough to beat all evening long. Drivers may be trying to play some big strategy to try to see if they can maybe beat that number 71 right here this evening, as we do see some more action out on the racetrack, as the 81 ride looks like he's going to loop-de-loop it here as well. And unfortunately for Anthony Garland, he goes for a spin down into the grass here, trying to get that car back into gear and fired off again. We also saw Lance Brandlinger have some issues in the Budweiser Bucky's number 8 machine, as he goes off the track there as well, and unfortunately just not getting that car dirt. Down through the grass, misses a couple corners, a tough break right there for the 8 ride, and he's still going through it as just trying to hang on to this thing, going through all that grass and through all the gravel and sand there to try to get himself back onto the racing surface. He finally gets it on there. We see Chris Muse having issues as well, as Muse goes off the track in the 99 ride. This is up in corner number 2 and just shoots it in there a little bit too deep, and it's up and off the racing surface, back on there. Good piece of driving and a good handle on that 99 ride. We did see Jameson Heath have more issues as well, as I thought he was going to clip that wall right there with safer barriers, and luckily enough he misses those, but comes in. I believe this is corner number 7 or 8 on the racetrack, and he just gets in there a little bit too deep. The rear end kicks out, goes around. We're going to have issues on the track, I think, here all evening long. Drivers just trying to keep themselves out of trouble. See the 37 right down onto the grass there as well. Takes the shortcut there on that lap, as you see Johnny Thunder spinning out back there behind him. We have so much action going on around the racetrack. It's just going to be a highlight reel of what's going on around the track. This is back up in corner number 2, the 1 ride. Actually, this is corner number 4. Just gets up and off the track. Anthony Garland goes there with him. Up and off that corner, 37 ride, James Garland. He's going to have some issues. Here's the 37. Pool Boy trying to have himself a good day in the track. And down through corner number 1, just fortunately just through the bumps there, loses the handle of it, goes for a skid. It's pointed back in the right direction, though, so a good piece of driving there for that 37 ride. 51 going for a spill here as well. We'll take a look and see what happens to the 51 ride. Just comes in a little bit too high there, and sand he goes out of corner number 11 on the racetrack, and that thing pointed back in the right direction. We're going to have these issues all evening long. A lot of drivers going to be potentially running into the same issues numerous times on the day. I think everyone except for maybe the 71 ride are going to be making those mistakes here, as, man, Matt Redford shot out of a cannon now out to almost a 11-second lead now between himself and Cameron Combs. So he's absolutely just fired off here and just absolutely pulling away. A big lead already. See Cameron Combs there in second, Mike Killing back there in third, as the Lawrence Tech 70 ride rolls up onto the 37 ride. Unfortunately for James Garland, that's going to put him a lap down, so a tough break for that 37 machine. Casey Gross up into position number 4 and looking for more here. Good start for the 77 ride, looking to maybe park himself up on the podium. Dean Chainsby, Sim Racing Dad ride, also up inside the top 5. A good run so far for him. Adolfo Castillo in the Syndicate Motorsports Poultry Shack number 31. He's in the 6th position here, and he's closing in on our 5th place driver, and Quick Curry. And Chainsby unfortunately rolled off the track there a little bit at a corner number 2, and we got the 37 right now into frame as well, as James Garland still struggling a little bit out there as the 31 trying to work himself back up inside the top 5. And you see Kurt Sponsler right there, Al Reed, David Duran Jr., Chris Muse, our top 10. And there on the racetrack, Muse trying to rebound from that early wreck as well, same with Adolfo Castillo. So drivers trying to rebound, trying to work themselves back up towards the front of the field, but now that 71 ride, he's going to be one tough cookie to be here all evening long. Anthony Karff coming in, showing the love. What's good, Anthony? Anthony coming in, throwing that thumbs up here on the broadcast as well. How are you, brother? Anthony coming in, showing the big love here in this one as well, as we're already 6 laps into this race. We still got a lot of laps left to go here. I don't believe we're doing any stage breaks as well, so this one could go pretty fast as this 71 ride keeps that pace up. We could be in and out of here in a quick Curry, as, man, he's just absolutely gone. Absolutely gone in that 71. Let's see if we can double check our schedule here real quick. Make sure we don't mess anything up. Yeah, no stage breaks. So 45 laps straight, unless if there's a huge calamity and the track gets blocked or something where we'll see that caution flag. But I don't think we'll have a caution flag here all evening long, which is good for us. Lots of good green flag laps to be run. A lot of good green flag fun out there on the racetrack, and it's going to be a pretty interesting race as you see Redford. I believe he's starting to roll up on a little bit of lap traffic here possibly. I'm not sure who that may be in front of him, but he's running into him. There you go. You see, I do believe that's the one rider, Ryan Hauler, right there in front of him. The 0-2 right there as well of Chad Lancaster coming into frame, as well as good look at this racetrack and the corners that these drivers have to deal with. And the elevation height is a big thing here as well, as right now they're climbing up this hill. Now they're going down the hill in a quick hurry into this quick 90-degree turn right here. Drivers having to get hard onto the brakes. A nice another little straightaway here as the one rider Hauler does go a lap down, and there's another hairpin turn. Have to turn hard right. And you come into these S's down the hill right here. You can carry a lot of speed here, but you can put yourself off the racetrack and in trouble in a quick hurry. But you carry a ton of speed through these S's down the, I'd say, back straightaway, the second half of the racetrack. Big turn right here into corner number 11, and then you shoot down this straightaway hairpin turn into corner number 12 as number 71 hits it perfectly. Apex is the corner, gets a good drive off, and you come into corner number 13, and then right down and across the start-finish line, which is right about there. Unfortunately, the grandstands there block it from our view here in this one, but the good look at the racetrack. See that hill that they're climbing is absolutely insane. None of these drivers have to navigate and get around this racetrack. The elevation changes and everything else play a big role, and when drivers really start to come on and off the racetrack as well, they're bringing that sand and dirt from, you know, off the racing surface onto the racing surface, which can make certain areas that much more difficult to try to get through. You may go through there and have a ton of grip the lap beforehand, but a bunch of drivers could go off the track, bring debris onto it, and then the next time you go through, there may not be a whole lot of traction left there at all. Right now, Redford is just out in front doing his best to see if he can put along these drivers a lap down, keep him kind of trapped back there behind him, and see if he can just kind of run away with this win, as right now he's got a 15-second lead. So we'll take a look here. This 71 blows by that 37 rider, James Garland. That was very close. A very close call right there as Redford is going to head down into corner number 13 here. He's going to head across the start-finish line. We'll take a look back right at the line. There you go. That is the difference between first and second. So down across the line, and the 15 rider, second place driver Cameron Gomes hasn't even made it to that hairpin turn yet. So that is a very big lead, a comfortable lead right now for our race leader, Matt Redford, and he's looking to just continue pulling away more and more from Cameron Gomes. Daniel Bradford coming in, showing the love. What's good, Daniel? Daniel coming in with the like and the share on the stream as well. Coming in, showing the big love over there on the Facebook channel. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and or subscribe button if you're watching over on YouTube. Become a part of the PeaceMaker family here today. It costs absolutely nothing to do. It helps us out a ton. Every like, comment, share, and new follower or subscriber just really helps us reach our goals and trying to grow and reach, you know, newer heights. We're trying to hit 5K followers over on Facebook. We're slowly trying to hit our 1K subscriber, you know, goal milestone over on YouTube. So slowly but surely we're closing up on both of those milestones, and hopefully we can hit them in a quick hurry and allow you guys to you know, unlock some more cool things. Subscribers over on Facebook, once we hit 5K followers, we'll get badges, different badges, and they'll also get some cool stickers that we can implement into the streams as well that people can use and, have some fun with some stickers in all the broadcasts. And same with the YouTube channel. Once we kind of hit that 1,000 area, we can get our own stickers and everything else for any of the members and followers and stuff over on the YouTube channel. And we can unlock a lot more cool things as well for all of our videos and everything else on the YouTube channel. So make sure you guys check us out on all the channels if you haven't already, as we continue to grow over on Twitch as well, as we're also live on the Purple site, almost at the 1,000 follower mark over there on the Purple channel as well. So I'll drop the YouTube channel into Facebook and Twitch channels if anyone wants to go over and show us some love on the YouTube channel as well. Drop that subscription and help us hit that goal. Make sure you guys head over there and help us out. DC Cameron says Redford is way faster than the rest. Insane. Yeah, Redford is gone. Redford is absolutely out of here. So I can see the relatives of everything here. I mean, he's still a second and a half faster than almost everybody on the racetrack. Actually, Adolfo Castillo, last time by the start-finish line, was the fastest car on the racetrack. So this 31 ride, he's rolling out there pretty good right now as well. But I think, the 71 of Redford, he just has to play his cards right. He has such a big lead, such a big advantage over everybody that he doesn't really have to worry about pushing himself too hard in really, using up his equipment, really putting himself into bad situations and putting himself into the potential of making those mistakes. There's no point in Redford making those mistakes, giving up all the time that he's gained. He can kind of use that to his advantage, maybe gain a little bit more here or there, but he doesn't have to push himself to an extreme limit to really kind of just drive away with this one. The laps continue to get clicked down more and more as this time by the start-finish line. We're going to see 12 laps come off the board and 13 laps go up. So, they're already, working on, a third of this race here in a couple laps. So already almost a third of the way through this race, and Redford sitting comfortably with a 17-second advantage here. He's got a lot of drivers a lap down. He's feeling pretty comfortable out there on the racetrack, and who knows what he's going to be able to do if someone does show him some speed out there behind him. If he starts to see cars gaining on that relative, I'm sure he's got another gear or the equipment that he's saving right now. He can just kind of open it up a little bit more and lay down some crazy qualifying lap time sets. Look at the best lap times by everybody on the racetrack. He's currently the fastest lap by almost a second. It's him with a 1 minute 15 second .47 milliseconds on the clock there. So he's a 1:15. Next closest is Castillo, whose fastest lap time was his last lap time, actually, with a 1:16.59, so just under a second slower than Redford's quickest lap time. But right now, that number 31 is currently the fastest car out there on the racetrack. So he's making up ground. He's gaining on the cars in front of him. Unfortunately, though, he's still about 32 seconds back of our race leader. And even if he was to gain a second a lap, he's got 32 laps that he's got to run. And 32 laps, I do believe, is going to put us at the final lap or just at the checkered flag. So if he gains a second a lap for this 31 ride on Redford, he may still not be able to get there. He may be able to get to him. He may be able to maybe put the pressure on his back bumper, but is he going to be able to make the pass in time? And that's with, pit stops having to happen and everything else. So there's a lot of things going into this right now, and Adolfo Castillo is giving it everything he can to try to gain as much as possible, to try to put himself maybe in a position where if we see that caution flag, he could be there and be a contender in this race for late in this run. But right now, Redford is just set and sail, just kind of cruising out there on the racetrack, trying to keep himself clean, keep that car out of trouble, keep the tires on it, and just kind of have some fun here, putting some drivers a lap down, keeping them trapped back there behind him, and just kind of running away with this one. Already out to an 18-second lead now as he's on cruise control. you know, he's still a cruise missile out there, still laying down very, very good lap times, and it's going to be tough for a lot of these drivers to gain and trying to build some traction on getting towards them, as we do see some drivers having issues here. Looks like the 99 rider, Chris, possibly going to get into some issues here in that number 99 ride as it's down into the corner. Looks like the rear end is going to kick out and around on him. Nowhere to go for Kurt Sponsler or Dean Chaseby as they all get contact into that one. So a tough break for the 99 ride and for the 49 at Kurt Sponsler as they run into some issues. Johnny Thunders off the track as well in the 60 ride again as Elite Sim Racing Shenco Custom Diecast number 60. A couple times we've seen him up there on the top of the hill, just gets in there a little bit too deep and unfortunately just kind of blows it off the track there a little bit. So a tough break there for the 60 ride. He'll pull over and with some of our lap drivers and some of the drivers up inside the top three go right on by him there. He's put on a good show for us here. Cameron Combs in second, chilling there in that second position with Killingback not too far back there behind him. This is probably one of the closer battles towards the front of the field right now as Casey Gross quite a ways back behind these guys in position number 4. Adolfo Castillo closing in on the 77 ride, trying to get himself back up inside the top 4. And we see Al Reed back in the 6th position. David Duran Jr. in 7th. Dean Chaseby in position number 8 with Kurt Sponsler there in 9th. Chris Muse in the 10th position on the racetrack. Then we see Lance Brantlinger, Rory Crowell, and then we see Jamison Heath there in 13th. We see Wayne Garland back in the 14th position, and Wayne right now is currently the first car 1 lap down, but Jamison Heath may be the next driver to go a lap down. Here is our race leader right there behind him, only a second or so back there from putting this 24 ride a lap down as well. And a tough break for our outside pole sitter here. That 24 ride was hoping to have a great day at the racetrack, was really hoping to just kind of have a good day, a good evening, maybe gain some good points on the night. And unfortunately, split those tires off the initial start, went around right at the flag stand and went from 0 to 0, went from the penthouse to the outhouse, and you know, before he even got to the start finish line. So a very tough break for the 24 ride, and he's just trying to keep himself on the lead lap in contention and maybe see if he can gain some spots here. We do see a pair of our top drivers head down pit side. So Cameron Combs, Mike Killingback, both down pit side here, looking to get some work done. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to get a drink into me. Let's get a look here at our newest sponsor, Landon C and SB. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Land and Sea NS. If you guys haven't checked them out, make sure you guys check them out over on YouTube and also over on their Facebook channel. And, you know, you guys can hook yourself up with some pretty wicked merchandise from, you know, your own custom stuff or anything that they have to offer as well. Absolutely amazing company. We can't thank them enough for jumping on board and being a part of the Outcast Racing League. My boy, James Garland. James says, I hate road courses. James, my boy, I feel for you. I feel for you, brother. They are definitely a handful. They're definitely very, very tough. They're tricky to get around. They're tricky to keep yourself, you know, pointed in the right direction and out of trouble here for, you know, so many laps, so many different quarters. You really got to keep, you know, yourself really hyper-focused on making sure you don't make those mistakes. And once you kind of start making those simple mistakes out there on the track, you can put yourself into trouble in a quick hurry. As Cameron Combs back out there on the racetrack after his pit stop, still up inside the top 5. Killingback back there behind him. Unfortunately here for Killingback, I'm not sure what may have happened on his pit stop, but he was down pit lane for quite a while here. So I'm not sure if he got a penalty or what might have happened. That 70 ride, he rolls out of the pits here, but he was down there for what seemed to be a while. As he comes back on the racetrack, Cameron Combs, they came in together, was already gone past quarter number 2 here. Cameron Combs now has a pretty big advantage between himself and that 70 ride, about 14 seconds between Cameron Combs and Mike Killingback. So that can really show you the difference of maybe making a mistake down pit side and what it can do to you. And Redford's got to be looking at that, knowing that once he makes his green flag pit stop, he's got to make sure all of his his T's are crossed and I's are dotted, making sure he doesn't make a mistake down pit road. You get that penalty or anything else and you're down pit side for an extended period of time, whether it's 10 seconds or 14 seconds or maybe even 30 seconds, all of a sudden your lead, your advantage is kind of gone. It's thrown out the window, and that could be a very, very tough break for him. The drivers have been coming down pit side and everything else right now. Matt Redford, one of only 7 drivers left on the lead lap right now. Corey Crowell, the last driver on the lead lap. He's at risk of possibly getting lapped here and going down a lap himself. So a tough break there for Corey Crowell as he does move over, allows the 71 ride. Good veteran move there out of the 20 ride to just let our race leader go, knowing that he's got a lot more speed. He's a very fast car, and he's going to jump right up there as Killingback in front of our race leader goes around. Oh, Radford almost got clipped right there. Tough break for the 70 ride of Mike Killingback after a slow pit stop. Now having that spin, really putting him back here and putting him in a tough position. Came in that 3rd spot on the racetrack before that green flag pit stop, and now finds himself back in the 8th position, and those mistakes may put him deep in the field here after these green flag pit stops. As you do see Adolfo Castillo down pit side, Casey Gross also down pit road, David Duran Jr. in the 51 down pit side, and here comes our race leader. All right, Matt Redford down pit side here. We'll have to wait and see what Redford can do to keep himself out of trouble coming down pit lane here. Gotta make sure you don't make any mistakes. You gotta make sure you just stay at pit road speed and not get any penalties down pit side here. Have a good, easy pit stop. Make sure your car is all filled up and roll back out there onto the racetrack. As you did see, about 20 laps is about the distance here that apparently these drivers can go on a tank of fuel. So with that being said, knowing that they still got 25 laps of racing action left, they may not be able to make it to the end here. So unless it be 71 or somebody really starts to jump into a fuel conservation mode, it looks a whole lot like these drivers are going to have to make at least one more pit stop here on the evening, as Matt Redford with that big lead and everyone coming down pit side. He is actually still out in front of the field here. He was able to get down pit lane, get that car filled up and fueled up, and back out onto the racetrack here without losing any time at all. So big moment there for that 71 machine as he leads the way. Our second place driver, the 15 ride, Cameron Combs, going to jump back up into second. He does have damage here on the front end of that Elite Sim Racing ride, so he may have gotten into the back end of somebody on the racetrack or even right off the get-go of this race, having those issues. See James unfortunately off the racetrack there again in that 37 ride, as right now Cameron Combs, he's only sitting about 29 seconds behind our race leader right now. So a big gap now, even bigger than what it was before. 29 seconds, possibly growing more and more and more between Cameron Combs and Matt Redford. Then you see about 6 seconds back from Cameron Combs. You see that 31 ride of Adolfo Castillo, as Adolfo, he's up there. He's doing some pretty good work here in that number 31 ride, and he's been able to string together some very, very good lap times. And with Mike Killingback running into his issues, Castillo has worked himself back up into third on the racetrack. So Good recovery and a good run so far for the Poultry Shack 31 ride. Mike Killingback, after running into those issues, still in the 4th position. But he's quite a ways back from our top 3 here on the track, and he does have Rory Crowell, who was right there behind him, coming down pit side. So now Al Reed up inside the top 5 here. So the Elite Sim Racing ride of Al Reed now up into the 5th position on the racetrack, only a few seconds back of that 70 ride. Jason Rose sliding backwards here into position number 6, and then David Duran Jr. in chase speed. Chris Muse, Jameson Heath rounding out our top 10, but oh! Heath hard into the wall. Heavy hit right there for the 25 ride. The hard Mountain Dew with a hard hit into the wall there through the S's on the back straightaway. Very heavy damage there for himself, and looks like he may be headed down pit side himself here, and he may not be jumping inside the top 10 as see Corey Crowell. He's about to roll back out onto the racetrack, and we'll come back out in that 10th position. Kurt Sponsler now into 11th. Lance Brantlinger there in 12th. Jameson Heath down pit side in that 13th position with James Garland. Chad Lancaster, Anthony Garland off the track there in the 81 ride. Ryan Haller in the Busch Light number 1 there in 17th. Johnny Thunders currently in the 18th position on the racetrack. The 9 ride of Brandon Puffenbarger down pit road with James Garland still out there, and Joshua Neal not joining the field. A tough break there for Josh Neal, but we'll hopefully see him back out there in the next race. He's out in front. Man of the hour. He's too sweet to be sour. It's the 71 ride of Matt Renford who leads the way here at Sonoma Raceway, out to a 30-second lead between himself and Cameron Combs, as this 71 ride has been a rocket ship all evening long, and man, he's been hard to beat here all evening. I think everyone kind of knew it coming into this race that the 71 ride would be the car that they would have to try to beat, or somehow figure out a strategy to maybe knock this 71 ride out of victory lane. But as he continues to grow that advantage, continues to grow that lead, it's becoming a little bit more and more bleak for a lot of these drivers out there on the racetrack. It's still laying down these quick lap times out there on the track, and that's going to be tough to beat. It's tough to beat the fastest car out there, as you see him rolling up onto the 0-2 right at Chad Lancaster. Going to put Lancaster, unfortunately, another lap down here as well. So it's been pretty crazy, as James says, I'll just make sure the car is ready for next weekend. Hey, listen, brother, that's all you can do sometimes, James. It's all you can do, you know. Take it with a grain of salt, but, you know, just have fun, enjoy it out there on the racetrack as much as you don't like road courses. They can be fun, a change of pace here and there, and just have some fun with it, have some laughs, have a smile, and, you know, just enjoy the evening. Yo, Kazi Racing Slinging Dirt coming in with that like on this stream as well. What's good, brother? How are you? Slinging Dirt series coming up next on the donkey here this evening, as we will get ready for their championship night here. The end of their season coming up in just a little bit, an hour and a half from now, or actually 2 hours from now, basically. We'll be going live there with their championship race, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be very interesting to see those drivers back out onto the racetrack for a wonderful evening of racing as well on the dirt track, as we go from the road course to the dirt track here for some fun this evening, as we do see Ryan Haller running into some issues. Haller's going to go off the track. He's right in front of the 70 ride of Mike Killingback, and maybe pushes it a little bit too hard, and off the track there ever so slightly. That opens up the door for Killingback to get in front of him, and he's going to lock up those tires to make sure he doesn't make any additional contact with Mike Killingback, and luckily enough, he's able to keep it pointed in the right direction. Now Reed then blows it in on here, as well as crazy racing action all evening long, as we're going to jump right on board here with our race leader, give you guys a great look at what he sees here on a lap around Sonoma Raceway. Alrighty, a great look right there on board with our race leader on how to navigate around Sonoma Raceway. And you can see these elevations these drivers have to deal with, and the difficulties up some of these corners they got to navigate their way through. Unfortunately for a lot of other drivers, they've struggled a little bit with it, but their 71 Ryan isn't struggled at all. He continues to roll the some of the fastest lap times out there on the racetrack, lap after lap after lap, and he's continuing to open up that lead more and more and more, working on almost a 30-second gap now, or 36-second gap between himself and Cameron Gomes, as we're going to jump into our PeaceMaker Gaming Crank It Up. So a great time for it. We're on board with our race leader. We're going to crank it up here on PeaceMaker Gaming. course, a beautiful crank it up session as everyone out there on the racetrack trying to do the best that they can out there on the track. But right now, no one better than the 71 rider, Matt Redford, as he has been the reflection of perfection all evening long. He's led every single lap out to a ginormous lead and a ginormous advantage over everybody else out there on the racetrack. And as he clicks off another lap, he's only got 12 more of them until he sees that checkered flag, as he's been clicking off the laps here in a quick hurry. And Matt Redford looking to put himself into victory lane, as, man, a very great run, a very fast car here all evening long for Matt Redford. And he continues to lay down quick lap times. The last lap time he laid down was his quickest lap time of the evening. So he just went into a 1:15.53, his quickest lap time of the day. Saved it until lap number 38 on the evening. So actually lap 30 on the evening, something like that, 35, something like that on the evening here. So I mean, hitting that late race best lap time of the day is gonna feel pretty good here for that 71 ride. We were talking about him before, you know, Adolfo Castillo. He's another one of those drivers that has just been able to hit his marks and run some very good lap times himself here. He's actually broken into the 15-second bracket as well, so the 1 minute and 15-second area for Adolfo Castillo. So a couple drivers now inside, but oh my, Redford opened up the floodgates on that last lap, laying down a 1 minute 15 seconds and 10 milliseconds. The quickest lap time of the race, the quickest lap time of his race here, as he goes back-to-back quick time laps here in this one. Absolutely insane. The power that he's playing in, the patience as well, as, man, he's been hitting his marks all evening long, and he's just been getting faster and faster and faster here as he goes. And Cameron Combs as well running some good lap times. He's gotten his best lap time now into the 16-second bracket, as he currently runs in position number 2. And unfortunately for him right now, he's about a minute and 11 seconds here from our race leader. So actually our race leader is closer to him than what he is to our race leader as he heads down into the hairpin turn here. You see Matt Redford, he's in there as well. So Redford is very close to putting pretty much everybody a lap down here on the evening. But I do believe Matt Redford still having to come down pit side here at least one more time on the evening. So Matt will probably come down pit road again, get some more work done to his ride, as my boy Johnny Thunder's coming in, showing the love here. Johnny Thunder's coming in, dropping that like and the share on the broadcast. I appreciate you, brother, coming in, showing the love here in this one, dropping that like and the share on the stream. As, man, it's been some pretty wild racing here all evening long, and we've seen some good battles, some good spins. Unfortunately, some hard wrecks for a few drivers. We take a look back, we see Corey Crowell running into some issues here in the 20 ride as the Midwest Motorsports machine sends it into the corner. This is right in front of our second place driver in the 15. He goes up the track to avoid him here, and I think he just says, you know what, I'm just going to stop and let these guys go by. I don't want to hold them up or, you know, end their day or ruin their rides or something with a mistake. So good veteran move there by the 20 ride. Just pulls up out of the way for those drivers to kind of get by him. We did see Pool Boy, unfortunately, James Garland running some more issues, as well as the 37 ride. Definitely not having the funnest day possible here for him. Definitely not a huge fan of the road courses, and unfortunately, see that really heavy left front damage there. Barely can turn that car. You may have to take it back down pit side to get more work done to it here on the evening, as you see David Durant Jr. headed down pit side here as our race leader, Matt Redford, still out there. He made about 20 laps on the first run. We'll have to wait and see if he goes for the same strategy, runs 20 laps here on the second run, and just runs the last 5 laps with a good tank of fuel and everything else. So we'll have to wait and see how he plays that out as he goes around the 81 ride of Anthony Garland, putting Anthony another lap down out there on the racetrack. Is right now there's only 3 drivers on the lead lap, and all 3 of them are within one camera shot here Unfortunately for Cameron Combs and Adolfo Castillo, the car that's back there behind them is our race leader and possibly going to put them a lap down as well. But Redford still having to probably make a pit stop here, as there you go, you see him head down pit side. So a little bit of breathing room there for Cameron Combs and Adolfo Castillo, knowing that he's not making it the whole way and that they probably won't go a lap down there unless if they run into some serious incidences out there on the track, as Redford will come down pit side, probably take him about 30 seconds, 35 seconds to come down here and, you know, get his service, get that car fixed up and fuel in it and tires on it possibly, and back out there on the racetrack for his final 8 laps of the evening, as he heads down into that first pit stall, as he was our pole sitter, had the quickest lap time. You see him just get some gas, not even putting tires onto that 71 ride, and he is back out onto the track in a quick hurry here. So Cameron Combs, Adolfo Castillo, they're headed down towards the back straightaway right now, as he did see, unfortunately, it looks like Castillo may have ran into some issues here himself. Looks like he may have went off the racetrack. So a mistake here from the 31 ride, as he was all over the back bumper of that 15. Unfortunately, just gets up into the sand and spins that car sideways up into the off-track area, and you know, he gets that pointed back in the right direction, keeps on rolling here, doesn't lose any positions, but he loses a lot of ground over our second place driver that I'm not sure if he'll be able to find his way back to the back bumper of that 15 machine, as he's trying to hunt him down about 5 seconds back of that 15 ride. So he's going to move on if he wants to hunt down this 15, maybe steal that second place finish away from him. It's Matt Redford, though, continuing to lead the way here. Redford out in front, looking like the gap is now grown to about 48 seconds. Almost a minute here he's rolling up onto here. 48 seconds, almost 49 seconds now between himself and Cameron Combs. That's more than half the racetrack, the distance. They're headed down into corner number 6 here. It's corner number 7 on the racetrack. And our race leader down across the line, headed up the hill here. Actually, he's already through corners 1 and 2. He's down into 3 and 4 here. And man, he's absolutely shot out of a cannon all evening long. And it's going to be interesting to see what kind of lap times he's going to lay down now after that pit stop. So he doesn't have to worry about fuel or anything else. He can kind of just push it to the limits and see what kind of lap times he's going to be laying down here. See if he can, if he wants to stretch this lead out or not. I'm sure he does, as, I mean, he's got a lot of time. Even if he makes a mistake right now, goes around, gets damage on the car or anything else, I still don't know if Cameron Combs or Adolfo Castillo will have enough time to catch him or reel him in. He's got almost a minute. He can make another pit stop right now and still come out and have a 15, 20 second lead advantage and over our second and third place drivers, and that's absolutely insane. And they're the only 3 left on the lead lap as our 4th place driver. Now Reed back in position number 4 as the first car 1 lap down there is, down across the line. 15:37, a 1 minute and 15 second lap there for Matt Redford. I mean, Adolfo Castillo was a 1:16.04. Cameron Combs was a 1:17.20 here. So, he's still laying down some very, very quick lap times out there on the racetrack. But you can't see this 31 ride. Castillo, he is trying to hunt down that second place driver. Cameron Combs has about 3.5 seconds between these two. But he's trying to track him down, try to reel him in, see if he can try to jump up there and maybe take second spot away from this John Deere 15 machinist. Now Reed back there, first car 1 lap down. The Elite Sim Racing ride. And we see Mike Killingback in position number 5 here, rounding out our top 5 in the Lawrence Tech 70 ride. Lance Brantlinger in position number 6, a good run here for the 8 ride. He's actually our hard charger on the day right now as well, up 10 positions from where he started. So he started all the way back in 16th and now finds himself in 6th. So some good racing there from that 8 ride. And right there behind him, the gold filters and Napa Auto Parts ride of David Duran Jr. sitting in the 7th position. Chris Muse currently in 8th. Casey Gross there in the 9th spot. And Corey Crowell, who actually had to start down pit side, is up inside the top 10. Here's our 10th place driver there for the 20 ride. Kurt Sponsler back in 11th with Wayne Garland in 12th. Then Anthony Garland, Chad Lancaster, and Dean Shasby are top 15. Ryan Waller, James Garland, Jamison Heath, Johnny Thunders, Brandon Puffenbarger, and Joshua Neal rounding out the field as everybody is still trying to track down and figure out a way to beat this 71 ride, as he's now out to a 54-second lead now between himself and our second place driver is my boy Jonathan Easterwood coming in with the like on the stream. How are you, Jonathan? Jonathan coming in, showing the love here in this one. How are you, brother? How you doing today? As Renford continues to lead the way here, continues to show him how to get it done. The 31 ride of Castillo, he has caught up to our second place driver here. He's within a second now of Cameron Combs, so Combs may be at risk of potentially losing position number 2. That 31 ride has found some speed here throughout this evening, and he continues to lay down some pretty good laps, some pretty consistent laps here himself, and he's reeled back in that Camaro of Cameron Combs, but now he's got to figure out a way to get by him here. He's got to wait for one of the good passing corners here through the S's. You're really not going to go too wide through the S's there. It's very dangerous to go too wide through those S's, so he'll wait until corner number 13 here and corner number 12 and see if he can get a good run and dive it down to the inside. The one right kind of blocks him right there, and that will really open up the door for the 31 as he shoots down low. He is going to make that pass, so Cameron Combs back to third as Adolfo Castillo up in position number 2 here. So the 31 ride into second now, and Cameron Combs back to third as the team get clicked down. You see Matt Redford, he's headed down into the hairpin turn here on corner number 12 right now, and he's going to go back into the throttle, head towards corner 13 and cross the line. So another lap down, another lap off the board here, and only 3 more circuits for the 71 ride to cruise home to a checkered flag this evening. As man, Redford has been putting on a show for us, Chad. He's been putting on a show. Absolutely insane. Yo, Ronnie Scott coming in, hitting that follow button over on Facebook. Ronnie, welcome to the PeaceMaker family. Welcome to the PeaceMaker Crew coming in, hitting that follow button, becoming a brand new follower here on our Facebook channel. Absolutely insane. I appreciate you, brother, coming in, showing the love here in this one. As man, that 71 ride, I mean, we talked about him here all evening long, and I mean, there's some other drivers that have been having some very good runs as well. We do see David Durant Jr., now our hard charger, up into 6 here. He's up 9 spots on the racetrack. Lance Brantlinger back there in the Budweiser number 8 ride. He's up 8 positions. Same with Corey Growell from where they started. So, I mean, they're able to move themselves forward and towards the front of the field. Unfortunately, just not the pace or the lap times that they need to compete with our race leaders. Redford breaks into the 14-second bracket here. Quick time again on the evening to our race leader as Matt Redford lays down a 1 minute, 14-second, and 74 millisecond lap here. Well, 14.74 up onto the board for Matt Redford, our first 14-second lap of the day. We did see Adolfo Castillo again break into that 1 minute and 15-second bracket there as he was able to jump into a very good lap time running a 15.68. So very, very good consistency here between our top 3 drivers, and that's why they're the only 3 left on the lead lap, but no one better than our race leader right now as Matt Redford out in front by almost 57 seconds here. He's almost a full minute ahead of our second place driver, Redford, down into the hairpin here in corner number 12, and he's going to head down through 12 and into corner number 13 and in and across the line, and this time by, we will see that white flag fly. So one more time around here for the 71 ride, the Rossman Chevrolet Shell Bosch, number 71 of Matt Redford from across the pond here to Sonoma. He's down in Napa Valley, the wine country in California. And this number 71 is looking to pick up the win here this evening, as he has put an absolute dominating race together here. Absolutely dominating from the drop of the green flag all the way right down to what I'm going to assume is the checkered flag, as he stretches out that lead now over 57 seconds between Matt Redford, our second place driver, Adolfo Castillo, and our third place driver, Cameron Combs. As Combs sends it in there, he flies it in down low, trying to reel back in that 31 machine late in this race, as Matt Redford down through the S's here. He's going to go around at corner number 11 into corner number 12 here for the hairpin for the final time here this evening, through the hairpin in to corner number 13, and he is going to cruise to a checkered flag at Sonoma Raceway as Matt Redford gets it done and picks up the win here in Sonoma. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for our race winner as Matt Redford gets it done and gets the win here this evening. Still racing going on, though, on the racetrack is the 31 ride of Adolfo Castillo, trying to hold on to position number 2. Cameron Combs right there behind him. This is the battle for that second spot on the racetrack. Through the S's, the 15 rider, Cameron Combs, trying to set himself up nicely here for maybe a last-ditch effort into corner number 12. Sends it in there deep, and unfortunately, he's got to check up. Doesn't get the run off corner 11 that he needs. He's still looking to send it in there. Almost makes contact with the 31 as Castillo through corner number 12 and into 13 across the line. Adolfo Castillo will come home in position number 2. Cameron Combs there across the line in third, as Al Reed, our fourth place driver, Mike Killingback in the fifth position. David Duran Jr. in position number 6. Chris Muse in 7th. It's Brantlinger in position number 8. Corey Crowell in 9th. Casey Gross rounding out our top 10 as Matt Redford, our race winner, is going to burn it down here in Napa Valley as he picks up the checkered flag at Sonoma Raceway. A dominating race, a dominating win here for this number 71 ride. To his biggest advantage, almost an entire lap lead here on the rest of the field, and absolutely amazing race from that 71 ride. Started on the pole, led every single lap. He was the reflection of perfection here this evening. He's the man of the hour. He's too sweet to be sour. It's Matt Redford who gets it done and gets the win here in the Outcast Racing League. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for that Rossman Chevrolet 71 ride. Wowzers. What a race, what a win, what a drive for him here this evening, as we'll get ready to pull him into the broadcast booth here for his post-race interview, as driver's going to be jumping up into the post-race interviews broadcast waiting room here, and we'll get him up here for some post-race interviews between our top 3, but we'll wait and see if we can get our race winner in here first. Alrighty, we're just waiting for Redford and our drivers to join the waiting room. Hopefully we can get them in here quickly-ish. Drivers probably having to maybe go pee or maybe take a quick little break, as they've been working their butts off here for multiple laps here. There we go. We got Mr. Redford in the waiting room. Let's pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Matt, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
I do indeed.
Matt, man, what a run, what a performance here this evening, man. Take us through this one. I mean, we talked about you a lot here in this one, man. The lap times you were able to put together here this evening, and the gaps that you were able to build here right out of the get-go between yourself and the rest of the competitors, putting yourself into a totally different category, a totally different, stratosphere Hero talent on the road course of Sonoma Raceway as he cruise home to a very solid day of racing, leading all the laps, quickest in qualifying, quickest lap time in the feature event, and out to a 50-plus second win here over our second place driver Castillo.
Yeah, it was quite a stressful race, even though I was out in front. Like, it's a packed. It's not like Watkins where you've got some decent long straights to try and get by people. This area, like this track, is just so damn tight and narrow, and so just weavy. So every single time I came up behind someone, it was just like, like, what the hell am I doing? Where am I going? Where is he going? I nearly got taken out like 3 times. I need to watch the replay to see what happened. But honestly, I am sweating. I am stressed.
Absolutely, definitely has your work cut out for you, man. And it's a lot tougher, going from an oval racetrack to a road course track. And these cars are tough to control. You got to really keep your focus for every single lap, every single corner. You lose that focus for a hot second, and all of a sudden you find yourself sliding through all the grass and the sand and everything else, and put yourself into a bad situation with damage onto the car or anything else. But you're able to keep yourself out of trouble here. You were able to keep yourself pointed in the right direction all evening long, and just kind of had that thing on cruise control there, just minding your P's and Q's, keeping yourself out of trouble. And as you said, it's pretty narrow. You really got to wait for those passing areas to, outbrake somebody, get into the corner underneath of them or something to be able to make those passes really happen and work without any serious contact. As there's a few of them out there on the racetrack, you were able to use them to your advantage and put a lot of drivers a lap down here this evening. Only 3 cars left on the lead lap here as he went across the start-finish line.
Yeah, I didn't realize I didn't do much like practice per se on this on this track. I'm a road racer, so that just comes naturally. But I didn't know you could one stop. Like, it came to the end, and I think you had like 4 laps of fuel. Like you had to make up. You could have easily just one stopped this race, and if I did that, probably could have lapped everyone. Or if someone like Al Reed or Cam Rodolfo, it would have been an easily P2 if their fuel saved. Like, this is why I really like road courses as well for the series. People may not like them, but they shake things up quite considerably. Like, I didn't change tires that entire race either, but some people did, and even still, I was pumping in faster laps than I did in practice.
Absolutely. Some heaters there and some very, very fast lap times late in the race as well. And as you said, not taking those tires. So you're on 40-plus lap tires out there on the racetrack. And we see putting up a 1 minute and 15-second lap, and then we see you break into that 1:14 area as well for your best lap of the evening here, the 1:14.74. An absolutely heater of a lap time, an absolutely heater of a race for yourself as you park yourself up in victory lane. Cruising there on that final lap, just kinking it easy. You probably could have gotten to about a full minute advantage between yourself and second place finish. You could have came down, took an extra pit stop, almost even 2 extra pit stops before even having somebody back onto your rear bumper for position. So just shows you how good and how talented you were here all evening long, Matt. And who would you like to thank for having such a good car, such a good setup here this evening?
I mean, cheers to the team, obviously. Like, the three lads actually did very well. We just all thought, stick to your own races, don't bother with like battling hard with anyone else, and we got P6, 8th, and 12th. And then, yeah, I don't know, thanks to Anthos and League and yourself for doing the broadcast.
Absolutely, brother. Always my pleasure, and always a great time watching you out there on the racetrack, just doing your thing and, kicking some butt out there, man, as you're able to do that here this evening. A very dominating win. Congratulations again, and we can't wait to see you back out onto the racetrack here in a week from now.
All right, cheers. Also, shout out to the Swedes as well. That would have been fun if they were still here, but things always just change in the end.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Matt, enjoy the rest of your evening, and congratulations on the win here once again.
All right, cheers, man. Have a good one.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Matt Redford, as Redford picks up the win and parks himself into victory lane as we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, our second place driver here this evening. The 31 ride of Adolfo Castillo as Adolfo comes home in position at number 2. We're going to pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey Adolfo, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad, man. A very, very solid performance here for you this evening. And, you had to battle hard for it, though, as we saw you get collected early in this race on lap number 1, just out of the hairpin. You get tied up. You get some contact, you kind of get pinched up into that outside fence, and you really had nowhere to go there, and it allowed a lot of drivers to get by you, so you really had to be on your tippy toes coming back in because you had to pick up a lot of time. You had to pick up and pass a lot of drivers. Slowly but surely, you were able to get by them, work yourself back up here into second, and even holding off Cameron Combs, who was trying to get back around you there on that final lap. Unfortunately, couldn't get there to you, but you were able to hang on and have a good rebound to the dinghy, as a lot of drivers might have just, said their race was over after that contact and incident there on lap number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a tough battle for sure. Got really lucky to pass Cameron there at the end with the traffic. Yeah, it was a good day all around.
Absolutely. Anytime you get a top 3 finish and able to jump up here into the broadcast booth with me means that, you did something right on the evening. And we saw you do a lot of good things here throughout the day. And we saw you continuously keep getting quicker and quicker and quicker out there on the racetrack, and you're the only other driver to break underneath that minute and 16-second bracket. So, I mean, you were able to find a lot of speed here throughout this race and, kind of getting into the rhythm of things, having a little bit of, clean air, not a lot of cars maybe in front of you at certain times. You were able to lay down some very, very fast lap times and some very fast ones late in this race as well to gain that gap, as we saw you have some issues off one of the corners, and you slid back about 5 seconds between, yourself and Cameron Combs. And, in those closing laps, you were able to close up that gap, reel him back in, and make that pass for position number 2.
Yeah, I mean, as the race went on, those tires really started to get some heat in them. And the tire degradation isn't really a factor here at Sonoma. So, and then the lighter fuel load, of course, is gonna make you go faster. But today was the first time I cracked minute 16. So it's pretty neat.
Absolutely, definitely pretty awesome to watch and pretty cool to see you guys out there battling hard lap after lap after lap. 45 laps of hard racing action, 45 laps of trying to track down that 71 right of Matt Redford, but he was in a league of his own here this evening, man. Absolutely insane how quick he was. But I mean, if there was a late race caution flag, it would have been interesting to see what might have happened out there on the racetrack, but it's very, very hard to get that yellow here at Sonoma. But man, you put on a great show for us, a great battle there at the end of this race, and throughout this race, passing a lot of cars. Who would you like to thank and, and appreciate here for such a good run and such a fast car here this evening?
My teammates in Syndicate Motorsports, they helped me out a lot during the race, and yeah, that's about it.
Beauty, well, Adolfo, a very good run, a very good race, and we can't wait to see you back out there onto the racetrack here next week for our next race as we head back to the oval racing and maybe see a little bit more of a level playing ground than Redford here in this one, and hopefully see you right back up here in the broadcast booth.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our second place finisher, Adolfo Castillo, as he comes home here in position number 2, as we'll pull in our third place finisher now, Cameron Combs. Hey, Cameron, it's Aaron up here on the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Cameron, man, a very good run, a very strong performance here all evening long, as we saw you basically in that second, third spot here all evening. We saw Killingback right there with you for a lot of the first initial run. We saw him run into some issues down pit lane. You come back out in second, you're kind of cruising there, trying to hunt down Matt Redford, but he was in a league of his own here all evening long, and Adolfo Castillo, all of a sudden, he just kept finding a different gear, lap after lap after lap, getting a little bit better, just like yourself. But unfortunately, there at the end, he was able to get up on top of the wheel and somehow find a way to get around you late in this race.
Yeah, I was watching our lap times pretty close, and we were pretty close those last few laps, and then he got around me. I was hoping to get back to him, try to do something, but yeah, Adolfo and Redford were wicked fast today.
Absolutely, definitely wicked fast, wicked talented drivers, including yourself, as you're one of only 3 cars left on the lead lap here this evening. But man, Redford was shot out of a cannon right out of the get-go, and you were able to, hold off a lot of drivers back there behind you, keep yourself fairly clean for the most part. As we saw a little contact here, a little contact there, and obviously we saw a lot of drivers having issues coming on and off the racetrack, where you really had to keep your head on a swivel, make sure that you were focused here not only for lap traffic, but these are very long racetracks. They're very long races in comparison to a lot of the shorter runs that we can have at an oval racetrack here, where you only really got to focus on turning left. Here you really got to focus on keeping that car underneath of you, making those right and left hand turns, and all the elevations and the racetrack and everything else playing a part into it makes it a very difficult track, a very difficult race, and you're able to lay down some very quick lap times. So put yourself up here onto the podium. It's got to feel pretty dang good.
Yeah, with no cautions, you really got to try to keep the car clean. Try not to make any mistakes and try to avoid anything that's ahead of you or behind you. It seems like once you start lapping cars, you just keep lapping them, and you don't ever get a break. So you really got to just watch for them guys and hope that nothing happens ahead of you.
Absolutely, but you're able to hang on, keep yourself out of trouble, park that number 15 ride up here in position number 3, joining the podium here this evening at Sonoma Raceway. Cameron, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
I just got to thank everybody at ESR. We all kind of helped and gave each other pointers, and it definitely led to us having a couple fast cars. Both the 15 and the 3 were top 5, so it's a good day for us.
Absolutely a great team effort and a great team day here as you're able to join the crew up on the podium here. Cameron, congratulations on the great run. Congratulations on the great performance. And we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Sunday.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 3rd place finisher, Cameron Combs. As Cameron comes home in position number 2, a great run and a great race there for that 15 machine. Unfortunately, that's going to do it for us here in this one, as we're going to get ready here in about an hour or so. We're going to be back live again as we head back to the dirt track. So make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go live here on PeaceMaker Gaming, and that way you guys don't miss any of the amazing racing action. Make sure you guys check out our newest video over on the YouTube channel. A little bit of a pack opening over on MLB 24. Something a little different, something a little fun. We're going to try a couple of those videos, see how they do, see if we like them, see if the community likes them, likes watching them, and enjoying us, trying to open up some pretty cool cards, some pretty cool players in MLB The Show 24. But listen, thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully I see you guys all back in here in just a little bit as our 2nd race of the evening will get underway here in about an hour from now, and I'll see you guys back here in the broadcast booth. But peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen. Have to be